Welcome everyone to Lubbock, Texas, and Jones AT&T Stadium, home to the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And this crowd, as always, will be rowdy because they've been gearing up since early this morning. Today, a couple of squads here to square off in a Big 12 showdown. As we'll see, the UCF Knights taking on a team looking for its first win, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. Get us started with the opening kickoff. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. So UCF's offense will start this game off. Sometimes you sense that what the kids call swagger is a false bravado. This dude is nothing but real at wide receiver.
He's got that speed, and you see DBs, they're probably watching him come on the field right now, and they understand it's going to be a long game. This guy can go get it. He can run. He can do a little bit of everything at the wide receiver spot.
Works his way to the 41, and that is plenty to give him a first down. The Knights want to crank the tempo. The back goes in motion. Trying to find his man on first down. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. After misfiring, it's second down. And off to Jones. One-step wrap, two-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground. Some third down conversions tougher than others. This one, a long one on third down from the 43. From the gun, wants to pass. And that pressure just engulfed him. A sack for this defense. They'll tell you that somebody's always going to pop open, but it didn't happen in time before they got the sack.
No, it did not. And you know what? I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember zone defense. They didn't really have an answer. They weren't ready to get rid of the football. Quarterback hesitated. I got to him and got him on the ground. Might be a good call later on in the game.
The Knights will punt it away on fourth down. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. So Texas Tech's offense will go to work for the first time today. And they seem to believe that they can take big plays away and man coverage by just locking him up in this matchup, David.
And it's hard to lock down a great wide receiver, but a great defensive back versus a great wide receiver, we got a showdown.
Yeah, let's be honest, David. Most defenses don't have a dude like that at cornerback that could do that.
And the quarterback was trying to extend the play, and the defense brought it to a close.
Anytime a blitz gets home that fast, I'm going to call it a lot, okay? I'm going to use this one time and time again until they find some answers to how we got that linebacker to the quarterback that fast.
They'll try to put it in drive this time on second down from the 22. He's looking to throw. Makes the catch. It's Prescott. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. A third and long coming up here. Here's the snap. Itching to fire downfield. They're setting up the screen. They finally get him stopped, but what a good job by that front wall to set up the screen and create some lanes for their running back.
And that's a great lesson for young quarterbacks out there. You don't have to force every football deep down the field. I know it's third and long, and that play definitely is designated to go to a wide receiver somewhere, but hey, check it down to your running backs. These guys are great athletes, and they can make good things happen when you give them the ball in space.
And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. Up-tempo for the offense. When you have a conference as deep and balanced as this Big 12 is, It's important to get off to a quick start in conference play.
Yeah, you're going to be challenged each and every week here in the Big 12 Conference. Since they've expanded, the quality of this conference has gotten so much better. So, David, big challenge here to make sure mentally your mind is right starting the season off today.
Yeah, I mean, to make your dreams come true, it starts one game at a time, the old cliche. But the Big 12, year in and year out, so many different teams that can beat you, so many different teams that can put points up on the scoreboard. Got to start fast in Big 12 play.
And how does he keep running? I'd be dizzy after a spin move like that. The Red Raiders moving quickly to the line. That was a really nice catch and an even better run after the grab.
Yeah, and get the ball to your playmaker. What's good about having him in the slot is he can go either direction. You can get him matched up on somebody that's not as fast. And you watch, he can run away from those linebackers or safeties.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Fast motion from the offense. Gets it out fast. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. 3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Quickly complete. Got room at the 35. Now well within striking distance as that 3rd down play gets him a first at the 29.
There's a reason 3rd down is called the money down. What a great find by the quarterback. Great job finding his receiver. At the end of the game, you look at 3rd down percentages. It tells a huge story, and it goes a long way in deciding who wins a football game.
Couldn't find anybody to throw to. He'll just toss it away. It'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. On 2nd down, just keeps firing. Caught over the middle. It's Miles. Makes the catch, and he's brought down. His 3rd down play more than manageable from the 24. Can the defense stand tall? Wide out in motion. They'll snap it from the gun on 3rd down. Moves away as he feels pressure. Trying to escape and get it himself. Picks up the 1st down and gets down to avoid contact. On the doorstep of cashing it in for the offense. Wants to pass. He's got it. He's all the way down to the 2-yard line. Just spectacular execution there. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Looking to pass on 2nd down. Reels it in the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
And he's off to a good start this year. That's already his 3rd receiving touchdown. We're only 4 games into the season. I love how they line him up all over the field. And as the season goes on, they're going to keep being more and more creative with how they get this guy the ball.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point makes it 7-0. That is what they mean when they say ball control. A 14-play touchdown drive. And it was finished off with a 2-yard touchdown toss. From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. They make the stop, and that's how the first quarter will end. That's the end of the quarter, and Texas Tech is on top. Guys, let's have a look at the stats as we've played 1 period. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the 2nd. The UCF offense back on the field, ready to go to work. They'll run it from the gun. Just searching and working for the running room as he gets it out to the 26. The Knights headed quickly to the line. And off to Jones. Tackled after picking up the 1st down. The offense in hurry-up mode. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Comes out throwing on 1st down. He makes the grab. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup. The Knights will have it 1st and 10.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. Did a nice job.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior. They punted on their opening drive, and now they need a 3rd down conversion to avoid punt. He'll pull it on the read. Works his way through the traffic, and he picks up 8 yards on the play, and this one's much more manageable on 4th and 3. The ball hits at the 5, and it'll go into the end zone for a touchback. Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. They unleashed an aerial assault last time that took them right to the end zone, David.
So, Reese, with that drive, I think you've accomplished something you wanted to accomplish. Make this defense think. Put them back on their heels. Now, shoot, Palmer, you might be able to slip a few runs in on this drive to really jack them up.
Yeah, I like that idea, but I also like the fact that speed kills. And they've got it at the receiver position, so if you've got one-on-one matchups, man, take advantage.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Finds a man on the left. At the 45, on his way. And he's running in the open. Touchdown, Red Raiders. What a catch and run for 6.
This is a special talent playing the tight end position because he's not a guy that's just going to catch flat routes and block. He's a guy you can line up all over the field. He can stretch the field vertically, shows off his speed. He has very rare athleticism for a guy at his position, and he showed it there on that long touchdown catch.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they finish with a huge play in the passing game, covering 75 yards to house it. From inside the 10, here he comes. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Now the UCF offense ready to go back to work. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
Looking deep down the right side. What a snag by the defense.
Most defenses are lucky if you have one good covering corner. Fewer are lucky if you have two. They've got 3 DBs, 3 corners that can play at the same time in their nickel package that they feel can go mano-a-mano with anyone in the country. You saw it on that last play coming with it.
They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. To the ground with the back. And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop. And the Red Raiders come to the line in the hurry-up. Oh, he's looking to throw. Tripped up for the tackle. Here they come, trying to convert a 3rd and short from the 28. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. It's complete. A huge pickup. Flying out to the left. And he'll take it in. They couldn't get him on the ground. Touchdown, Red Raiders. These guys are really hitting their stride in week 4 as they push out that lead. PAT unit on the field. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Boys, if it's happening in college football, we've got eyes on it. Check this out. Kentucky needs to pick up the pace, but this puppy is far from over. And with this crowd there in Lexington behind them, I'm kind of banking on a comeback. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Tennessee. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business, gentlemen.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. This first half of offense won't go on the highlight reel so far, but starting to get things moving, it's 1st and 10. He's going to pass. Fires into traffic, picked off. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with this decision.
Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do to build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
Quickly complete. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. He'll just throw it away, and it'll be 4th down. The Red Raiders will punt this one away. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. 1st down here for the offense. He's looking to throw it. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down. 2nd and 10 after the previous play. He's looking to throw. Just missed on the connection, incomplete. You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. They'll run it. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. 4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. Now a fair catch is called for and made just shy of midfield. 1st down here for the offense. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. Floating away. He'll pull it down. And he has a solid gain on the play before sliding. Line getting set on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Now improvising. Quarterback gets past the marker. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the 1st down, and he slides in safely.
And you're seeing here the difficulties defenses have trying to contain this guy. If you leave a lane open or you don't sack him right away, you allow him to get outside the pocket, he is going to take off, and he is very difficult to tackle in the open field. He's got running back-like ability out in space.
To the air on 1st down. Finds his big tight end. And that defense pushing him out of bounds after a short gain. This offense has a 2nd down play. He's looking to throw. Fires to the wideout. And it's picked off. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception. He looked as if he thought he had it all the way, and this junior makes a play.
Timing has to be so good. When you're throwing at his own defense over the middle of the field, the ball's got to come out specifically on time because these windows close really quickly. Ball there thrown a little bit late. As a result, it's an INT.
UCF has it once again. What do you think about that? Now they're backed up here, Jesse. Wonder how aggressive they're willing to be.
I think it's going to come down to how much confidence they have in this quarterback and his decision-making, because you cannot throw an interception at this part of the field with this little time left.
And I think that's conversations you've had with the young fella on the sidelines. Be like, what are you comfortable with right here that we can run? Maybe stay aggressive, but make sure I don't make that mistake.
First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, looks like we've got a terrific atmosphere there today in Lubbock. And we have to start this halftime breakdown by addressing the play of this elite wide receiver. This is clearly a young man who, once he's finished playing on Saturdays, he's going to be playing on Sundays. The kid has different gears. He has a knack for finding gaps in the defense. And I can't remember a college player with that kind of catch radius. With that said, let's send it back to the guys at Jones AT&T Stadium.
The Knights will try to kick this one deep to get things underway in the second half. Here's the return from inside his 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. Feeling some heat. Quarterback extends the play. On the move at the 30. And a nice pickup on the run and gets down to avoid contact. Lining up from the 34 on first down. Keeping it on the ground with the single back. On the last play, it's 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw. Setting up the screen. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. They have it at the 43, 3rd and short, trying to avoid making a decision on 4th down. Gets it to the 46-yard line, 1st down for this offense. And the Red Raiders are flying down the field. He'll come out throwing on 1st down. He fires to the left side. Touchdown, Red Raiders! And the punishment has been extended. Like a Thanksgiving turkey, they're just being carved. No shot. They have no idea how to get in this quarterback's head.
He's on fire. Everything he's doing, he's working defensively. We got to figure something out. We got to try to do something a little bit different. Bring more pressure. At this rate, shoot, he's on so much fire. You might as well just send everybody. Blitz everybody, live with the results, because everything else ain't working anyways.
And the extra point makes it 28-0. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they cover the final 54 yards with the explosive play in the passing game for 6. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. And the returner will be brought down. The UCF offense back on the field, ready to go to work. They'll go to the ground. Crosses the 30, he's got a lane. And chunk plays are the name of the game, and they get one here before the defense finally makes the stop. Open a drive like that, it opens a world of possibilities. 1st down from the 43. He'll do it himself. Shakes off the defender. That run epitomizes a veteran, savvy senior who knows how to find space. Here's an opportunity for this offense in search of its first touchdown. It's 1st and 10. He just missed the target on that one. Got to put it on his body. 2nd down coming up. He's looking to throw. Forced out of the pocket. Going to try to get it himself. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the big hit. This feels like 4-down territory, 3rd and short from the 40. From the gun, wants to pass. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. And that is interception number 3 on the day. And he's brought down, and his defense gets the ball back for its own.
And that's just excellent cover. Man, cover 1, nowhere to throw the football. Look at everybody playing man across the board. You still got the safety in the middle of the field. Nobody open. And if I'm the QB man, I don't need to force it. I don't force it in the tight windows if it's not there. He throws it, unfortunately, gets the interception. Bad decision by the QB there.
Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play. pulls it and fires to the left. Tackled immediately after the catch. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. He fires one deep down the right side. Oh, look out! He's at the 10. Touchdown, Red Raiders! And the route is on. Quarterbacks love receivers that can get separation, but that amount of separation is a little excessive.
I agree, Reese, and I think the defense needs to have a little powwow on the sidelines and talk about what just happened, because that was an absolute busted coverage on the back end. Defense can't keep playing like that.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And they tack on the extra point for a 35-0 lead. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown.
35, UCF 0.
He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Now the UCF offense ready to go back to work. Defense there to stop him after a gain of 1 to the 22. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd down.
He's looking to throw. He unleashes a long one. Another interception. This guy just can't find his own players. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
That's the advantage right there of having your dime personnel on the field. You got an extra DB, you got an extra guy out there who's really good at covering. So for quarterbacks, you got to be so good and precise with these passes because they've got speed in the back end. They're able to come away with the pick.
The offense set for a 1st down play. Gonna run it. It's Prescott. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. The pull and throw off the RPO. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
On the play.
On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf. The Red Raiders will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. UCF has it once again. What do you think about that? And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackler. Got stuffed on 1st down. It's 2nd and 10. The give from the gun. And how about that interior defense stuffing the run for nothing? Didn't find a single crack to run through on the last 2 plays. Let's see if they go up top on 3rd and 10. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Knights will send out the punt unit. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. He'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. They'll put this one in play. 1st snap of the drive from the 25. Out of the gun, the give to the back. At the 35, he's open. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a 1st down. An explosive play to start the drive, and they'll try to keep the D on its heels. They're going to ride this running back. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the 1st down play. Kept it on the ground last time, bringing up a 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Snags it over the middle. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage. 3rd down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. They play that screen nicely. He tried to find his way to the marker, but it'll be 4th down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And the Red Raiders send out the punt unit. He'll try to really get into this one. Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. And they'll drag him down. That's likely the last play of the third quarter. That's the end of the quarter, and Texas Tech is on top. And they are starting to pull away as we come to the end of the third quarter. Let's take a look at how we got here. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the fourth. On second down, wants to throw it. Got his man to the left. That defense got gashed, but they finally get him to the turf at the 47.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum and gain a little bit of confidence that they can keep coaching up heading into their next game.
Got some of the work done on first. Now let's see what they have on second down. He's looking to throw. The quarterback bought as much time as he could, but the defense got to him and sacked him. The number one job is to protect their quarterback, and they did not.
They did not, but my number one job as a defensive lineman is to attack your quarterback and get him on the ground just like this, get the sack, rattle this guy as much as you can, as many hits as possible on these quarterbacks.
Now facing a third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Finds the tight end.
You know, the tight end's going to have to do a better job of separating and giving his quarterback a place to go with the football. That time just couldn't create it, and as a result, as soon as he made the catch, he was brought to the ground, setting up fourth down.
Able to keep them from getting a return, and the ball goes out of bounds. They're going to mark it right around the 20. Hand off from the shotgun. Found a little bit of running room, knocked down at the 24 after a pickup of 4. After the productive first down play at 2nd and 6. The handoff, keep working on that clock. They get him stopped after a gain of 4 out to the 28. Looking for that first down on 3rd and short from the 28. Trying to pick it up on the ground. Love to see these third down conversions on offense, and they're out to their own 39-yard line. The Red Raiders will snap it on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, the running back has it. Ball is free. And the defense snatches it, and they're trying to flip the field.
Man, and it was just the impact of the hit that dislodged the football from the ball carrier. There was a heat-seeking missile coming in there, and he knocked that thing loose.
The UCF offense back on the field, ready to go to work. They had to punt it away on their last possession, but man, what great field position this time.
I mean, this is awesome. Like, last possession didn't go great. Now you're set up in an...
And he crosses the goal line and gets the touchdown, but way too little, way too late. But they still do count it for 6. Once the game reaches this point, you start thinking ahead and how you can find something positive to take into the next game.
Dang right. Keep the offense rolling. Try to find some plays that I can use throughout this season that I can have some more success, or I guess have success. I haven't had a lot of success today, but I'm looking for the future.
Lining up to add another.
The kicker on for the extra point.
They get the extra point on the board, but they're still down 35-7. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Terrific showdown this week, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on. Nebraska is ahead early in Lincoln, but that's not exactly Mike Rozier out there running the ball. This game is a long way from over. They're up by 11 over USC. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. That keeps the running game churning. Pickup of 5 to the 23. We've reached a 2-minute warning, and this offense will be quite content just to drain the rest of the time away. And this one will be stopped for no gain. So So what do they have for 3rd and short from their own 23? From the gun, wants to pass. He lets it fly. And trying to put points on the board on 3rd down. Now they're staring at 4th down. And the Red Raiders line up to punt it away. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. Let's see what he can do with it. The coverage team was down there to corral him. They made the stop, and they'll mark it at the 39. Now the UCF offense ready to go back to work. This offense has pretty much been stuck in the mud the entire game. And the ball is out. Who's going to get it? They recover their own fumble. How in the world did the offense avoid that disaster?
Man, those are so frustrating when you're a defense and you swarm to the football and you stick the quarterback and you make him cough it up just to have the other team recover it again and you don't get it. Still a good stick, still a good physical play. Keep hitting that quarterback.
A 1st down sack can wreck a drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. He's looking to throw. Wide open downfield. Just gashing this defense. A big gainer to the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up. He wants to throw. It's complete to the right. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a 1st down for this offense. Looking to move it through the air. Throws to the wideout. It's caught. They bring him down, but he's got a 1st and goal from the 10. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end zone. Pressure coming. He's got it. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. He wants to throw here on 2nd down. He's got the back in the middle. That completion has them right on the doorstep. They'll mark it at the 1. When you know you have a team outclassed, the ability to play to that standard and finish with a blowout like this is really impressive.
And it's almost like playing against yourself, right? You know you're better. You know you're going to win the football game, but how do I continue to still execute? This was so easy. Great execution. Just beat down in every facet.
I think as a player, you just love being in such great rhythm, and we saw that right from the get-go in this game. Offense just able to matriculate the ball down the field. Defense was not giving anything up. What a great game plan coming in, and this was just total domination.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.